My name is Rhapsody, welcome back to Hearthstone. We're going to be continuing the solo adventures in Heroic now. Yes, lovely. Unfortunately, that does mean we need to redo not only Wing 5, that's not the unfortunate bit, but the unfortunate bit is have to re-unlock the stuff for the Warlock. Anomaly nesting after a minion is played against death roll, summon a 1/1 copy of this minion. I mean, if we can get a big Warlock, it's good with Warlock, but otherwise I just want to play Paladin because I haven't done it yet. Add 3 1/1 Silver Hand recruits to your hand, and Boon of Light give a friendly minion Divine Shield. So lose 25 Divine Shields and equip 10 weapons. Alright. Take Reinforce here. Old Hero. So we have 1 minion with Divine Shield, 2 minions with Divine Shield, 1 minion that Death Rattle gives another minion Divine Shield. Okay, this is actually relatively good with Anomaly Nesting right now. Let's have a look at the other decks that are available. Oh, this is obviously Hand Buff. Yeah, Hand Buff. And this is Dragon? Dragon Secret Hand Buff. This one's straddling a few different archetypes, but I guess that gives you the ability to go in a bunch of different directions, should you want to. And you should want to. Alright. So I have a True Silver Champion in this deck. And that's it. Okay, so we want to equip that every fight, if at all possible. It's also just 8 damage to the face, so it's really good against Alchemist Wendy. Unless Wendy then uses a greater healing potion against herself, but I'm hoping that one doesn't happen.
Here for revenge.
That's not something I can brew up.
Alright, so we play George of George and Carl fame. All I can say is I've seen them before in Monster Hunt? I think it was in Monster Hunt, actually.
Nothing scares
Was it in Dungeon? Well, it wasn't in Dungeon Run. I think it was on Monster Hunt.
Alchemy is perfectly
No!
safe most of the time.
I wanted that one. Alright.
Your adventure friends abandoned you, George. But you can always believe in me.
Please stop taking. Oh!
For one.
That's not an even trade!
Nothing scares
You get the 1/1!
except this.
I actually might end up losing this fight.
I don't need
Exclusively based off of that steal, by the way.
That won't do. On second thought, let's swap back. This'll fix you right up.
I need to equip this True Silver Champion before the enemy takes it from me.
She's going to do great things.
for me.
As long as the enemy doesn't heal next turn, so no...
One for you.
Nice.
One for me.
As long as I keep my Hammer of Wrath as well, we should just be able to
I don't need any of you.
go for it. Neat! Bye.
Running low on cards.
I was getting way too close. There's probably going to be a hand buff archetype. There's probably going to be a Divine Shield archetype. Well, not archetype, right? Probably a Silver Hand Recruit archetype. Probably a Weapon archetype. Stargazing. It's actually really powerful. Use your hero power twice a turn. It costs 1 less. Sure. Resummoning Sylvanas is incredible. Resummoning a Lich King is incredible. Resummoning a Shivala is also incredible. Well, less so than the other two, but still pretty good. The problem with Shivala is, like, uncastable for us. We would have to do a turn that's full Sound the Bells, as well as play Blessing of Might, Noble Sacrifice, and Hammer of Wrath, just so that we have access to actually play Shivala, and then it's going to cost 9 after I play all of those. Excuse me, that's a little bit locked out for us. Next is Champion Sarad. So, Inspire minions are a lot better for us because we can really easily mill out the Inspires. That said, is pretty good. Murloc War Leader's resummoning and Old Merc Guy resummoning. I mean, that's pretty good, and we already have a Hydrologist in the deck. I suspect we take this, despite the fact that this has better higher end. Alright, Olo. Let's see what you got. Unfortunately, we're in heroic and it's Olo, so we know that there is going to be some board clear going on. That said, I might be able to get them to trigger a lot of it just by using my hero power. So then I can, after that, generate actual minions to the board.
I'm here for revenge. What are you doing in my shop?
Revenge. I was extremely explicit. Olo, I was extremely explicit. That's on you. You just didn't listen. I don't need to generate that yet. I don't need to force push damage to the face because as soon as the enemy casts spells, they're taking all of that damage away from me again. Wish that was a little bit quicker there. Spell number 1. So you got a second clear. Shouldn't have attacked face. I knew that that was a possibility. That's just me being bad.
Nothing scares me.
I need to get, here in the early game, as much value as I can out of my hero powers. I'm a touch concerned that the enemy's just gonna warpath us.
Nothing scares.
Probably should have considered trying to trade one of my minions there. Just to disincentivize that. That said, you can't have infinite different board clears, right? You've got one warpath, sorry, 2 warpaths in the entire deck, you've used 1. 2 cleaves in the deck, you've used 1. You're going face. That's... Don't do that. I need that face.
Weapons ready.
Is that it? Avenge me!
The battle. The battle.
Alright, Hydrol, just get me a secret. Enemy doesn't generate that many minions on board, so the Sacred Trial doesn't seem correct here. Instead, I'll just take Avenge whenever a friendly minion dies. Another friendly minion gains +3/+2. That'll trigger it.
I will avenge the fallen at any cost.
I don't want to spend so much of my energy just trying to kill that one soup vendor. So here's my solution. I'm just not gonna. Not again. We got him. Gotta make sure that I lose another Divine Shields. So that'll trade across. And then equip a weapon. Then we can kill. Mate! Works out in the end. Would have worked out even better had we had old Murkai. Okay. Unfortunately, we don't get offered the same again. I'm not going robotics, so... Like, Kangor's Endless Army is pretty garbage in a deck that has exactly 1 magnetic minion. Shrink Ray is also really not good for that. And Ziliax. Ziliax is incredible. Zalay recently called it the 2nd most underrated card in the entire game. Despite the fact that everyone thinks it's good, it's still the 2nd most underrated card in the entire game. Actually called it also the 2nd best card in the entire game. Next to Christology is the 1st. I suspect I can't really do that, though. Stubborn Gastropod summoning a Stubborn Gastropod is pretty good. And Tarim, because I can hero power really quickly, like I can 8 mana 3/7 3/3/3/3, right? Just double hero power Tarim. But even more than that, Tarim is most likely going to be a buff on my minions and a debuff on my enemies' ones. Call to Adventure is pretty lame here, though. We're a bit poor. Oh well. Alright, Bone Paul. Show me what you got. So I'm really hoping for Murlocs. Murgatha's not that good for us. Is it?
George versus Bonepaw.
I don't know if our stuff is low cost enough to use Murgatha.
I'm
Not as
here
effectively as might like, though.
for revenge.
Definitely can't cast Call to Adventure in the early game. The enemy will just hero power and get a copy of Call to Adventure. Or rather, use immediately a copy of Call to Adventure, and that's just terrifying. I think here I do just quickly try and develop to the board.
Except mice.
I don't need value out of my hero power as much as I just need to develop to the board. Great.
Is that it? Avenge me! Nothing scares me. Except mice.
Makes sense. I really can't allow the enemy to gain a bunch of armor, so I do actually need to kill the Arcane Artificer here. So you only have 1 minion in hand. Wild.
Is that it?
That makes sense.
Avenge me!
Hey, shield the right target. I really do want to keep the Stubborn Gastropod alive, but the enemy doesn't have that many minions in their deck, so I suspect they don't have that many strong minions in that deck either.
Shields up. Red alert.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
So I think I can get away with allowing my enemy to... Well, I don't want to allow my enemy to kill it just in case they have, like, an Arcane Explosion or something like that, so I actually will trade off there.
Knowledge is power, and I
fine.
know a lot.
Okay.
The battle. Reporting for duty. The battle.
Weapons ready.
Knowledge is power, and I know a lot.
I'm more than happy to allow you to hero power here. What are you gonna do? Cast a unstable? Nothing. Ooh. It's a sack. Sack and a half right there.
The battle.
Yeah, I'm just ignoring that minion.
Ready.
Frankly, I have no interest in removing it. It's almost certain that the secret there is Splitting Image or Ice Block, so may as well try and not trigger the one I don't want to have triggered there. What? Okay, I guess. Swing. And Ice Barrier. No? I thought the reused one was going to be Ice Barrier and... Huh.
Our propaganda has been more effective since we made the posters mustache proof.
Soul Reaper's Scythe is really powerful, and it's another weapon to put in the deck. Dreamgrove Ring is also really good, so is Evil Propaganda. These are all great options. I think I take the Soul Reaper's Scythe regardless. It's really early. Taking that Soul Reaper's Scythe is quite powerful. Yep. That's good. These are all pretty bad, actually, for the rest of these. Just in particular with nesting, so.
Are you going to the
Is there a gremlin knob around here?
Pick me up a coffee. Black, like my heart.
Boasting egomaniacally. Fair loading screen. Very representative of almost all of the flavor text in this expansion so far.
I always love meeting a new customer. Come on in.
4 spells from your deck reduce the cost of 1 by 3 for the run. Tall Tales, I probably don't want to drop on a minion. Costs 2 more, but it's +4/+4. Round of Drinks? Snip Snap.
Are those adventurers even here?
That's good. Snip Snap is real good. I can trigger that pretty easily as well, Light Fused. Elysiana is pretty garbage. Unless we're going into fatigue, I don't care. And Ryan Street Smuggler is
Are those
okay.
adventurers even here?
So I have to take one bad minion to get 3 that are pretty good. Fine.
Order up.
Do I tell a story for one of these minions? It's just going to be 1 minion in the entire deck. I mean, obviously the upper hand is only going to be 1 spell in the entire deck, but what's the spell going to be? It's this. And it's Sound of Bells. Beautiful. So now I actually want to dismiss basically anything I can from my deck. Let's get Tarim out of there. That Sound of Spells is 0 cost and it has Echo. If I can stick a minion to the board and play Sound of Spells, I can just play Sound of Spells until I have infinite damage, punch the face, win the game. So ideally, I want to have as few minions in deck as possible. So what does that mean? That means that I should have gone with the upper hand first, then I wouldn't have actually added all of the other enemy minions to my deck. I just never would have done it. It also means that we probably hard mull every single turn, just looking for the 1 card that wins the entire game for us.
Here for revenge.
The elements.
There will occasionally be fights where we don't draw it. Thankfully, we can establish a board presence that the enemy might not be able to remove just with our hero power, so it's pretty easy for us to do that. Your hero power is... As you can tell, my voice is a little bit shot. Do apologize about that. Summon any random totem. Bad. It's bad for us.
Nothing scares me. Except the mice.
Where did I leave that toad?
It's fine, man. Could have been a lot worse.
Reporting for duty.
Snip Snap was actually also on the most underrated cards list.
Speak your peace.
Yeah, I suspected that was going to happen.
To battle.
Speak your peace.
Is that it? Avenge me.
Okay.
Nothing scares me. Except the mice.
That sets me up with a reasonable board state.
Which one did I want again?
Apparently that one. Uh-oh. Woo! Yeah, I'll just give the, War Leader back its buff.
Is that it?
I can't double remove the Direwolf Alpha here.
Shields up. Red alert.
Reporting for duty.
Alright then.
Reporting for duty.
As long as I get that one down. That's fine. I mean, the enemy getting extra card draw is not great, but usually they don't have the time to play out all of the value, so whatever.
Weapons ready.
Alright, I'm actually going to Murkai here. Just because that's removal there, and then I get another Murkai, it has 4 damage, so I can go for another removal.
Weapons ready.
And heck, I can even keep the Murkai. Things that provide us card draw are going to be incredibly important in this deck as well. Christology not one of them though, because I don't have 1 attack minions in my deck. I think at least.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
For card. I just have to control the board and make sure I have a minion on it by the time that we get to... by the time we get to the card that I want to use.
Elements I like. Totems I love.
Get down.
Come on. 1 in 14 will do it.
Another companion. Lost.
I mean, also, I can just
Reporting for duty.
adapt a hell of a lot of minions here.
The battle.
Weapons ready.
No reason to attack base there. At the end of the enemy's turn, the Vitality Totem's just going to heal back up anyway.
My pretty totems.
Cold Light Oracle is way better for me than it is good for my opponent. Hammer of Wrath is actually another draw as well, by the way. So we'll be playing that here as well. That's lethal. Ring the bells! Let all hear. Ding dong, ding dong. I'm gonna make another minion pretty big. Maybe this one over here. I'll even buff one of yours. Never let it be said that I'm not a generous man. It's good to know that this interaction happens, by the way. For your own adventures in... For any of your own adventures in the game mode that I've got the name of, Dalaran Heist. Galvan on the last Kaleidosaur is pretty good. But Wicked Flame Burn Bristle is really good to resummon. Bolvar is pretty good to resummon, but not incredible. Annoyatron, Pilot to Shredder, all of those are incredible with nesting, so we'll have to take it. Desperate Sand's pretty garbage, and Lightforge isn't pretty good either. So Last Kaleidosaur would be the only thing that I'd want there, and in that case, I only really want it if I have my Sound the Bells, and if I have my Sound the Bells, I probably want the game. Doesn't really help me. I just want a turn 2 win. I want a hard mull for the bells. Let's go. It's gonna become less and less likely the further and further we get into the game.
A fountain golem.
I think that's after a minion attacks you, freeze it. That's awful. Yeah, after a minion attacks your hero, freeze it.
Nothing scary.
Play that so I can compete for board control.
Except mice.
Okay.
Reporting for duty.
I mean, that's fine by me if you want to waste cards from your hand. Okay.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
Yeah, freeze my garbage minions.
Winter is here, and it's cold.
Should have considered that the enemy probably has things that would benefit from that.
Reporting for duty.
Alright. Well, I found my extra card draw. It's Hammer of Wrath. I cannot believe that killed none of my Silverhand recruits. The next turn I get to Hero Power and Lightfuse Stegodon. Neat. Well, that was obviously going to be one of my trades.
Reporting for duty.
I'll take Poisonous, sure. Gonna have a hard time establishing a board against that. Never mind. Why have you got so many copies of Cinderstorm? It's really frustrating. Murloc War Leader, Murloc War Leader. 6 damage is pretty hard to pass up. So is 4. Freeze mage for the new era. Hate it. I mean, love it. I mean, hate it though.
Reporting for duty.
Me.
Reporting for duty.
We may end up killing here without having drawn or played our weapon, which I don't want to do. Yeah, we currently have the ability to win, so I don't really want to do that. Give me the weapon.
Lightning can strike twice.
No weapon. Just go for it. Hey! Choose a treasure. Excuse me. Alright, Wondrous Wisdom Ball, look, I forgive you. You can't screw me up again, can you? Can you? I'll give it another chance. No good reason.
Place to socialize with human shields. I mean, friends.
Ragnaros is too soon? Oh!
Welcome here. Just don't cause any
You have given me 2 spoons, Executus. Do I cast many spells in my deck? Not really, no. Archmage Vargoth is pretty bad for us. Kindle, remove a card from my deck. Dismiss, definitely get a minion out of my deck. You can see what I'm going for. All of these minions are pretty good, though. I'm a little sad to remove one of them from my deck.
Is something
Obviously, we need to get rid of the Sound the Bells. Noble sack. This at least has draw associated with it. While it doesn't draw me Sound the Bells, it draws me a card that isn't Sound the Bells, so there are fewer cards that aren't Sound the Bells left in my deck. Savvy. Go for the Noble Sack there. I may not want to recruit anyone. I can Tall Tales Murkai. Just try and give myself more ability to push for lethal.
Some of these tales are so crazy, they're true.
Dismiss you. What's one more card in the deck? Not that much. If I had more secrets in the deck, then Bellringer Sentry would make sense, but it doesn't. Not here. Alright,
Oh,
fine.
you can't go wrong with that one. They're irregular.
I have Death Rattle. Lifesteal? Rush? I'm very likely to end up with Lifesteal and Rush anyway. I'll take Ashmore.
Safe travels.
Large part of that owing directly to the fact that that card draws cards.
Adventurers are trying to defeat us. Do not let them complete their quest.
I'm trying Reform. I'm giving him a good god, giving good glory a go.
I'm here for revenge.
You are not long for this world.
God. George is just beating the same drum constantly. Revenge, revenge. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Who cares, man? Sing a new song.
Reporting for duty.
Alright, double hero power. Let's get a hero power all the live long day.
Reporting for duty.
I live to serve the Lich King.
Huh. that's a problem.
The battle! The battle! The battle!
4 damage to a damaged minion. Fine.
I live to serve the Lich King.
So the reason I developed the Warlock, the Murloc War Leader there is pretty obvious, right? It actually contests the minion on board, whereas nothing else there would.
Serve the Lich King.
The battle! The battle!
That said, I'm probably about to lose my Murloc War Leader. I want to leave the Murloc Knight in hand until I can hero power twice with it. It's very effective if I can.
I don't need any of
I live to serve the Lich King.
Well, that's fine. Really? That's a bad order of play, my dude.
Go ahead. Draw another.
Oh, I do have a lifesteal minion, of course.
That doesn't work.
I can't get minions off of my board right now. Be a bit of a problem.
Unity, precision, perfection.
I can't leave dangerous minions on the board for long.
Reporting for duty.
They're too dangerous. It's very titular. Dang. Suspected that was about to happen.
You beneath my boots!
We'll try. Okay.
The battle!
1, 2, 3. Removes you. So now I have space for more minions on board. Hero power here.
For duty.
Get Murloc. It's a good Murloc. I think I actually will trade the Murloc Water Eater off here as well. Gives me another space so I can hero power. And get another Murloc.
For duty.
For me!
That'll do.
I can wait.
That Murloc Knight is so powerful for us. It's very important I try and keep it around and active as long as possible. Yeah, like, it's so good, it even does lethal. It's wild. Let's just trade both of all of these off, thank you.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
Uh-huh. Okay, didn't work out. Fine. Just trying to develop as much stuff as possible. Oh, sound those bells. This is so cheesy.
Let me cast
That again, at a random target. With Sound the Bells, I can also cheese out like more Khadgar triggers, because Khadgar obviously has trigger conditions that include when you take damage, when you deal damage, when you cast a spell, when you draw a card, when you use a hero power, I suppose. I've not seen anything trigger off of that, but I suppose that's probably likely. I like how well this one has worked, especially because it's something that I was like, hang on. So instead of being something that I lucked into, it's something I feel quite clever for having done. And Scargill Merker. Khadgar also probably has like a limit of how many times he can activate a turn. Do have to worry a little about that. Kangor's Endless Army is pretty bad here. Drygul's Jailer fills our entire hand with garbage. Because, like, 3 Silverhand Recruits get added to our hand. Then when we play those Silverhand Recruits, they summon Silverhand Recruits when they die. So I never run out of Silverhand Recruits. But I also don't really have much board space at all, ever, to play other minions. And I do have other minions. Good other minions. Especially Murloc Knight-related minions. So I suspect I actually just want to go for Kangors. Like, I don't want Kangors in the deck, but I'll take it. Hazamon Steelskin. What is your hero power?
George versus Kazamon.
So I'm worried there's going to be a hero power that just completely locks down mine.
You do well to steal your heart.
Why don't you steal my heart, big boy? Cold Light Oracle is going to be really good in the early game. Again, just being a thing that I want to use to draw cards.
That guy started with extra mana. You should too.
You finally did that for me! Steelskin, you can't damage yourself. Fair enough.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
Give me a minion I can double trade against. That'll do. Aww! Me too! Go for the trades. Come on, you know you want to.
Regret this.
You can't damage yourself. Can the Wrathguard damage you? Like, in your turn it won't, but what about if I hit it?
No pain, still gain.
Actually, we're about to learn the answer to that based on whenever I kill a minion. Because if I kill a minion and it deals damage to the enemy because it's out of their turn and the License to Pocket 3 is working, then that's proof of how this should be working. Hang on. So you'll trade across there. You'll get that. No. Okay, so it's nothing that the enemy controls can deal damage to them.
He's unbreakable.
Well, my body is ready.
Reporting for duty.
Oh god, just imagine if they were actually running Unlicensed Apothecary in this mode with this anomaly. Oh, that'd be harsh.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for
Not a bad Murloc. Ooh, also not a bad Murloc.
battle.
I'm into it.
Another copy in your deck.
Thanks, bud. What'd you put in my deck? You just trashed my deck. How dare you? Thank you for clearing some board space for me, frankly. When this attacks and kills a minion, summon 2 Murlocs from your deck. So I need to do that. I need to do that before I trigger Murloc Tasty Fin. Otherwise, I will draw the 2 Murlocs that I actually want to have work here. Those 2. Pretty good, right? Now I can trade off the rest of my stuff.
Unleash me.
Murkai is really good right now.
Reporting for duty.
I can't just sack the Booty Bay Buki. Bookie! Gosh.
Time to collect.
Yeah, I can't. That's fine. We have ridiculous board control, and next turn we can just summon the Murkai. Now, because the War Leaders weren't hard played from hand, they actually don't benefit from the resummon effect. Thankfully, I still get to keep my Murloc Knight after all of this. I have forgotten to use Soul Reaper Scythe in so many fights. I haven't drawn into it, to be fair. But also, I probably should have been waiting for it.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
It's garbage for me. Awful for me. That will kill me to use that. So let's not just voluntarily lose. Fine. Next turn I can actually develop a giant snip snap. And if I don't make them magnetic... Oh! It also has +1/+1 on all of its echoes. That's really good. I can have a 9/12 summon 12 microbots as well as a 1/1 snip snap that summons more microbots. It can be pretty good. My enemy has a lot of really bad minions. I need like another Pit Lord for Soul Reaper Scythe to get value here. Indeed. That's exactly what I was thinking. I need it all to be on a taunt minion. Snip, snap him.
Reporting for duty. The battle! The battle!
And that'll get it done. Fine, I get a 1/1. Good. Also good. One not so much. Alright.
The battle!
I suspect I still do want to wait for just a better minion. That said, I should still be trying to chase lethal. So that if at any point I'm threatened, I can just suddenly go for the kill. That's our Soul Reaper side target. Summon a 6/6 with a single swing for weapon. I mean, come on. You got him.
Reporting for duty.
So I'm specifically just controlling the board right now to set myself up with the ability to go Anoyatron and Ziliax next turn on the shielded minibot. Because as soon as I heal back up, this game is over. And that lifesteal is healing back up. I'd also like to play the Twin Silver, True Silver Champion rather. If I get the opportunity at any point. I mean, my double hero power here, I've only just realized does nothing, but I'm already hot committed, so
Reporting for duty.
fine. That's really bad. I may want to consider just not killing now. Ooh, I can just replace all of my stuff with Arc of the Silesiana afterwards. Just completely purge all of the Corrupted Bloods out of the deck using that. After your opponent plays 3 cards in a single turn, draw 2 cards. That's not going to happen. Noble Sack will prevent my enemy from being able to kill their Hakar this turn, which is pretty good.
Reporting for duty.
Weapon ready.
Reporting for duty.
Come on, sound the bells. I just want to sound the bells in the opening hand. That's all I want. Been very consistently asking for it, game. been the goodest boy. Please give.
Get down!
On intent. Boom. Got him. 2. Let me cast that again at a random target. Beautiful. Leave it all up to a Silverhand recruit to close out the match. I do have to be wary of things like counterspell. Like a single counterspell just ruins my day. This kills a lot of minions for us, but Swamp Queen's goal is, like, as soon as I have a flooded board of garbage minions, I can actually benefit from that. Tyrion's a good resummon. Crystal Lion's a good resummon. Warhorse Trainer is a good resummon. We'll go with the Silverhand. Our hero power backs that up as a pretty good choice, in my opinion, I guess. Arky the Brilliant. Alright, Arky. See how this one goes.
George versus Aki.
How could you stray so far from the light's embrace?
Still blindly following the light.
Alright, so we're gonna hard mode looking for... I just wanted that one moment of panic. Alright, remove my minion on turn 1. Or lose. Your choice, really.
Ensured you go first this
Thank you.
Reporting for duty. Your crusade is tainted, twisted, corrupted. The light will guide us.
Damn it!
You gonna sleep with the fishes.
I don't want to make just one big minion. It's really important that I start removing the enemy's minions so that I can actually do stuff here. So I'm just going to be hero powering constantly.
You were hurt, but the light can still save you.
Especially due to the fact that the enemy is a paladin. So they could have, not that they do, but they could have shrink ray equality.
Go ahead, draw another. Nobody's looking.
Like what? Until you said that, now it's suspect.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
Have you tried taking an extra turn?
When did Khadgor get buffed? Why is Khadgor suddenly good? I'm not mad about it. No. Yeah, a little bit. Unfortunately, I still can't get past that Righteous Protector.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty. Battle. The battle.
That's like the absolute best minion the enemy could play, because it takes 4 attacks away from my ability to hit the enemy in the face. I was so ready to kill them on turn 2, but no, apparently they have to win. Well, not win. As close to it as they'll come. This is gonna take a while. So yeah, I'm gonna sprinkle in some other stuff, I guess. Play that as well. Saves us playing 3 of the Sound the Bells here. Really wish this was like SDS, where I just could click, 7, and then just keep hitting my minion. Yeah, that's not gonna work. This is such a stupid way to win, but I love it. Oh no! Oh, you know what I've just realized?
That's a great spell. We should cast it again.
Thanks, Khadgar. Did you just do that again? What I've just realized is that there is a there's a boss later on that limits our turns to 25 seconds. That was in non-heroic as well, so we're in heroic now, so it's probably like 15 seconds a turn. So I'm not gonna get much of an effect out of my Sound the Bells in that fight. So in that fight, I'm probably focused on getting Murlocs or Shredders. Either of those should allow me to overwhelm the enemy in that fight. Alright, we're up to 50. Ring those bells. Keep them coming. God, I wish I had a, it's the name of the spell again. Divine Champion? I think it is. Just doubles a minion's attack. It is 5 cost though, so I would have been able to play it this turn only if I didn't play the Blessing of Might. Oh, this is so evil. It's very, very thematic, I'll say that much. Let's give you some stats as well. Should have stopped one earlier on the Crystal Lion there. Sadly, Khadgar screwed that one over. I'm gonna blame Khadgar, not the fact that I stopped counting. We started with extra energy. Sorry, we started on the first turn, and we took an extra turn, and we drew an extra card. It's nice to actually see the Wisdom Ball do something.
Take a deep breath for this one. You'll have to take your turns quickly in there.
Yeah. Alright, so I only have 25 seconds to take a turn. I mean, we can still get some use out of the Sound of Bells, just not as much as we otherwise might. We still probably hard mod this turn though.
For revenge.
Tick tock.
Could have considered keeping the Light Fuse Tagged on there, but... What an awful hands.
Look at the time.
I'm looking.
Time is of the essence.
Reporting for duty.
Don't worry. I'll make this quick. The clock is ticking.
That's gonna be a problem.
Reporting for duty.
Here's hoping the enemy can't clear my board this turn. Ooh, that's gonna be a problem.
You really don't have time to kill.
I wish I did. What's that secret? What's that secret, right? Don't be Mirror Entity, please.
Time is of the essence.
It's not Mirror Entity.
The battle.
It's almost certainly Splitting Image. So I can't kill the Ethereal Alchemist first. Probably want to try and attack the Master Contender first. If that Ethereal Arcanist doesn't die, like, right now, we're dead. And I can't kill it right now. Oh, that's cruel. There's Splitting Image.
Got something to hide?
Okay.
Got something to hide?
Oh, we're just gonna get run over and lose. The enemy having Archivist out before I could even develop a minion is tragic. Absolutely tragic
Got
for us.
something to hide?
I actually can't compete against this board. That's so sad. Like, usually my out would be, oh, I'll just wait until I draw the right minion. But I don't have that as an out anymore. I just don't. It's not accessible to me here. So I try and go for that, just in case that was Splitting Image. Now I have to go for this kill. So obviously I couldn't swing for the Ethereal Arcanist first, because if I did that, Splitting Image, I die. Speaking of Splitting Image, there's definitely one back up now.
You know, running out of health makes you lose. Let me adjust the cost of that for you.
Why? It's always increased. Why do you always increase it to like 7 or 8? You do realize you're supposed to be on my side.
The battle.
I suspect you don't.
You are on fire.
I have to play that because if it's mirror entity and I give my enemy the pilot shredder, I lose. Hero, go, 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 hero power. Ugh! You stole my turn! The animations!
Reporting for duty.
You've got to think fast.
I did!
Come, child. Let us wreak havoc. I must
Oh, we are being
have
so
more.
cheated right now. I feel real hard done by.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
I'll show them. I'll show them all.
We have many secrets.
So we can deck the enemy out, right, if we just let them get 2 copies of the Mad Scientist stuff off. But...
The power courses through.
at least I can heal back up with Ziliax now.
Unity. Precision. Perfection.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty. The battle.
I'll never tell.
That's a problem.
Got something to hide?
Can we win?
I'll show them. I'll show them.
The power is here. You need only to seize it.
Obviously, the correct order is Murloc Knight, double hero power, and then the Crystal Lion, but I can't do it in that order because then the enemy is going to be able to kill my Murloc Knight with the explosive ruse they definitely have.
The battle. The battle. Time is of the essence. Reporting for duty.
It's fine. Okay, so we need Kangors so that we can get back the Ziliax minion so that I get more healing.
I'm late.
I have no board clear, so this is untenable. Enemy cannot mirror image me right now, and they didn't resummon a secret last turn. So that means Tyrion is playable. Okay, that's almost certainly my trade, right?
The battle.
And removal. Hero power twice for someone.
Reporting for duty.
Makes sense. Oh, God!
Got something to hide?
Put your faith in the light.
I'm late.
I don't have that much HP that I can use trade-offs here, so... Weapon. At least I've probably equipped enough weapons to unlock another hero power. But this is just rude.
Hey, draw another. Nobody's looking.
I straight up need the enemy to deck out. It's the only way that I can win.
Reporting for duty.
In assistance of that, we'll play the Cold Light Oracle. That's also so that my Warhorse Trainer doesn't die.
Mount up. For Carl.
I'm late.
The battle.
Trying to remove as much damage from the board as possible here. I suspect it's not going to be enough.
Excuse me, you are on
I'm dead. Yeah, extremely dead. That's really unfortunate. So with the Alanith, you can see they were actually just about to start decking out, and drawing 4 cards a turn means your fatigue ramps real high real quick. So not being able to draw Swamp Queens was a big problem there, right? Swamp Queens was going to be the... Stubborn Gastropod was incredible, if we could have drawn it, but Swamp Queens was going to be our easiest way out, right? Just summon something really big, especially something that might clear the board. That's... deck. We don't get the extra hero power? I could have sworn we would have gotten the extra hero power. We equipped a lot of weapons. 2 in that final fight. 3, maybe? We also never got a single copy of... like, we drew the... Where is it? Soul Reaper Scythe. Yeah, we drew the Soul Reaper Scythe once in the entire time. If we'd drawn it earlier in a couple of the previous fights or stalled out to draw it in those fights, then it would have been better. But in the final fight, we never drew it. Again, right? We drew a lot of things we didn't really want. So there are a lot more cards in this deck than ideally I would want, right? Especially considering how important some of the singular cards in our deck are. So basically, drawing Kangors, drawing Soul Reaper Scythe, drawing Swamp Queens, Stubborn Gastropod, or where's the final one? Where's my 0 mana? Oh, Sound the Bells was just reverted because of the end of it. Or Sound the Bells. All of those would have been pretty good. I would have just milled out a bunch of buffs on my board from Sound the Bells. And effectively just would have relied on that to try and help me just hold the state. I feel like we did get pretty screwed over by RNG in that final fight, but it's also worth noting that our deck did not have board clear. It was one of the weaknesses of our deck, right? We were going for heavy consistency on board controlling with our own minions, but when your enemy generates a minion that is buffing itself every single turn and you are yet to hit the board, you're starting from a real bad position. Well, for the moment, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been... Oh, come on. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. And hopefully we'll see you next time.